Welcome to the Channel 404 archives. Tonight, we access 3 new files regarding severe reality glitches. A man whose anatomy defied the laws of biology, the day gravity reversed and the sky consumed the Earth, and a technology that demands a human life just to stay charged. The system is unstable. Watch.
Case File 101, Biological Rolling Stock. When Thomas entered the world, the delivery room didn't smell like baby powder. It smelled like burnt rubber. Thomas was perfectly healthy from the ankles up, but below the shins, nature had glitched. There were no feet, no toes, just 2 biological, fleshy wheels connected by a bone axle that rotated within his calves. He didn't learn to walk. He learned to idle. Growing up was a physics problem. Thomas couldn't stand still on a slope. He had to keep moving to stay upright like a bicycle made of meat. He didn't eat vegetables. He craved iron and high-octane fats. Doctors were fascinated by his tires. They weren't rubber. They were layers of calloused, thick skin that grew in tread patterns. When he was nervous, he didn't tap his foot. He spun his wheels, burning holes in the carpet. Vrr, vrr. The puberty hit him hard. His RPM increased. He started sleep rolling, waking up miles away on the highway, confused and naked. The tragedy happened on his 21st birthday. Thomas realized he didn't belong in a house. He belonged on the asphalt. He simply rolled out of the front door. He gathered speed. 20 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour. His skin tires screeched against the pavement. He didn't run, he commuted. Witnesses say he merged onto the interstate at 70 miles per hour, weaving through traffic with impossible grace. He didn't look back, he just accelerated into the horizon, his body finally matching his biology. He hasn't been seen since. But truckers on Route 66 report a strange sound at night, a human scream that sounds exactly like a revving engine passing them in the fast lane. Status: in transit. Case File 880, Vertical Reversal. It began on a Tuesday in Seattle. The forecast predicted a standard drizzle. It did not predict a refund. At 2:14 p.m., gravity forgot how water worked. Commuters on the I-5 noticed at first the rain hitting their windshields didn't slide down. It peeled off and shot back into the gray void. Then the puddles on the street began to boil, cold boiling. The water lifted in shimmering sheets, defying the earth, rushing back to its mother clouds. The sound was wrong. Rain usually taps. This hissed, like a million tiny vacuums sucking the moisture from the soil. Umbrellas became dangerous. A woman on 4th Avenue held onto hers too tightly. The rising deluge caught the canopy like a sail. She didn't fall down, she fell up. Witnesses saw her shoes kicking frantically before she disappeared into the low-hanging cumulus layer. It wasn't just rain. Lakes drained into the atmosphere. Swimming pools emptied into the sky in massive, spiraling columns. By sunset, the ground was bone dry, cracked and desiccated. But the sky was a heavy, dark, undulating ocean suspended above the city. We don't go outside anymore. We don't look up. Because if you stare at the clouds long enough, you can see the sharks swimming in them. Status: atmospheric saturation, critical.
Case File 501, Biovoltaic Transfer. Leo hated low battery notifications. He hated being disconnected. So when he bought the experimental Eternity Cell from a faceless vendor online, he didn't read the terms of service. The battery didn't need a wall outlet. It needed contact. At first, it was subtle. Leo would hold his phone, and a wave of exhaustion would hit him. A 5-minute scroll felt like running a marathon. But the battery percentage? It climbed. 15%, 20%. By day 3, the addiction set in. The screen was brighter than reality. The colors were hypnotic. At 50%, Leo's hand began to wither. The skin turned gray and papery, wrapping tight around his finger bones. He looked in the mirror. He'd aged 40 years in 40 hours. His hair was falling out in clumps. He tried to drop the phone. He wanted to, but the device was warm, pulsing like a second heart. It whispered to him through the speakers, not in words, but in pure dopamine. At 99%, Leo was a skeleton wrapped in dry skin, slumped on his couch. His breathing was a rattle. He stared at the status bar, desperate to see perfection. Click. 100%. Leo's heart stopped. His body crumbled into a pile of dry dust and ash. The phone didn't turn off. It glowed with a blinding, impossible white light. A new notification popped up on the lock screen. User lifecycle complete. Uploading soul to cloud. Status fully charged.